Hi, and welcome to Pittman's Pumpkin Patch. It's July 2nd, 2012. As usual, I have some good news and some bad news, I guess. Mostly seems to be bad news at the moment, and I'm hoping that somebody out there will be able to give me some advice and some help on this. I'm having some major issues with leaf curls. And as you can see, my leaves are not opening up. They're staying curled up like this all over my patch inside the hoop house here. They are not opening. Now the leaves that are older, that opened up about a month ago when temperature was lower, they seem to be doing all right. But you can see these other ones along the vines here are just curled up. Now the first thing, and I mean it's everywhere, look at this stuff, just ridiculous. I've never seen plants act like that. Alright, so the first thing I did was I checked for aphids, because I know I had some on my tomato plants a couple weeks ago and they were causing leaf curl on those. Alright, well, I took care of the aphid problem, and so that's the first thing I checked for, and I'm having no bugs in here whatsoever. I mean, this hoop house has done a really good job of protecting the plants from most of the bugs, at least the harmful ones. I'm not having any squash bug issues. I'm not having any squash vine borer issues, knock on wood. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's just everywhere through the patch. Leaves that just will not open up. And I have just some other weird looking things I've never seen plants do, or it just seems like they're growing, and then they just stop at the end where it comes to a tip, a point. Let's see if I can find an example of that. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Here's the end of the vine. What is that? I don't know. You know, I've never seen, plants. This is a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, and this vine's come all the way out here and just stopped, and it's come to a point, a little nub, and I don't get that. Is that has to do with the variety of pumpkin? Because this is a new variety for me. I don't know. Maybe somebody does. But I've seen it on a couple other varieties in here too. And again, as you can see, a lot of the older leaves, they've opened up about a month ago and they're doing fine. But these new ones are not. So something is stressing the plants out, and I don't know what. And a weird thing is, a lot of I got female flowers throughout here, and I'll show you. But even they're acting weird, most of them. I mean, take a look at this one right here. Okay? Let me zoom in on this. Okay. Female flower, right? There's the baby pumpkin right there. Okay? Well, look at that. It's acted like it's was trying to open up and didn't. And even then, the petals didn't grow like they're supposed to. They're supposed to grow up to a point like this or something, and then eventually they open up. But I mean, it's just weird how things are happening in here. I don't quite understand what's going on. But I mean, I do have some female flowers that are looking fine. And I'll show you another example of a female flower I have that is doing fine, at least as far as its shape. And that's over here on this Howden plant. Let's see if I can find out where she went. Let's see. Oh, there she is, right there. Okay, let me zoom in on that. Alright. Got a female flower right there. There's the pumpkin. And see how the petals come all the way up, grow all the way up to a point? That's the way it's supposed to look. And eventually it gets bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger, and it swells, and then eventually it opens. So that's the way it's supposed to look. But I got a number of different female flowers that are like that other one over there. The petals aren't fully grown up to like the other one I just showed you. And it's just some weird stuff going on. I don't quite understand it. Now I was thinking humidity maybe, because inside the hoop house here, where most of this leaf curling is taking place. Now I have noticed a couple leaves outside the hoop house that have curled a little bit. I'll show you that in just a minute. But this hoop house is obviously raising the temperature in here to a certain degree, and also with that would be the humidity. Now I turned them off for the moment, but I have some fans, a couple fans in here, and I've opened up the doors on both ends to get some airflow in here. Now of course that opens me up to bugs, but right now with this neem oil on it, it seems to be doing a pretty good job, except for this disaster that happened with the neem oil right here. I don't quite understand. I'll talk about that in a minute, but I'm trying to get all the humidity out, so when I'm done with this video I'll turn the fans back on. They've been running for half a day so far, and I'm trying to see if that will help get these leaves to open up some if humidity is the issue, because it does get very hot in here and very humid. I mean, it's just about 7:30 in the morning and I'm sitting in here and I'm already sweating. So that gives you an idea of how warm it can get. And I placed a little device down over there that gives me the temperature and everything. And I wish it told me the humidity, but anyhow. So if somebody out there knows something about this curling, can overwatering cause leaves to curl? I don't know. I have gone down into the holes, and yesterday I went down and I couldn't find hardly any, that much water. But this morning I went down there and I found it was just very soggy and wet underneath a lot of some of the holes, the couple of the holes that I went digging and exploring to see if that was an issue. And there was quite a bit of water, so I did turn off my drip system. And I'm going to let it go for about a week or so, or maybe 4 or 5 days, and then I'll check again in some of the same holes to see, because surrounding these holes is clay, and we know of course clay holds a lot of water and doesn't drain very easily. So I don't know if this too much water down the hole is causing these leaves to curl. I'm not sure, and it's starving for oxygen. Could be. I just don't know, and that's the thing that's troublesome. Now to this neem oil business, look at what it did to my some of my plants. Just disgusting looking. And what I don't quite understand is this is the second application of this neem oil that I've used. Now again, it's done a fabulous job with getting rid of and keeping the squash bugs and squash vine borers and other pests like that away. It's done an excellent job. Couldn't be more happier. Again, like I said, this is my second application, and for some reason 3 or 4 or 5 of my plants or so this is what it did to the leaves. Now you got some of these other plants out here that are just fine, and the plants on the outside are just fine, all sprayed with the neem oil. So I don't know. Now I do know, I've been trying to roll all these different scenarios and to try to figure out things. I do know that when I first application I did a couple weeks ago or so, I did it early evening. Okay, on the bottle it says either do it late afternoon or early in the morning. First application I did late or early evening, and I just used the neem oil with water mixture, didn't add any liquid soap to it. Second time I did it early in the morning. I added the liquid soap per the directions on the bottle, and I came out here and sprayed, and the second time this is what happened to the plants. Okay, so then I'm thinking, well, I don't think it was the time of day because I followed directions on that, and I don't think it's the soap either because I've used soap before to kill bugs on pumpkin plants, and the soap has never had any effect like that. So I don't think it's the soap. And if it were, why didn't it do all these plants? Why isn't every single plant the same way as these, if that were the case? So the only thing I can come up with is that when I I've already sprayed all these plants one time. When I came back through towards the end, I was at the very bottom of the canister as far as my mixture was concerned. I had very little left, but I had some. So I just said I might as well just get rid of the rest of it. So I started spraying. And maybe what it was at the very bottom of the tank was where the neem oil was most concentrated and not diluted so much anymore. And maybe that concentrated neem oil is what did it to these leaves, because this is about the area where I was spraying towards the very end of the amount of mixture I had in my canister, and maybe that's what did it. I don't know for sure, but I said the first time I did the application, no issues. Second time, got some issues, but it's not everywhere. It's just 4 or 5 plants. It's weird. So I'm gonna hold off on the neem oil for 3 weeks or more and see what happens. So like I said, there's a lot of hit and miss stuff going on here. I've redone up my hoop house because we had a storm that came through and did a lot of damage. As you can see, I got these little spring clamps. I've taken some spare material I had, cut it out, and redid up the hoop house and everything, and just took the old material with the new material and kind of just rolled it together and then clamped it. And I think that's actually going to hold better than what I had before. And as I was doing all this stuff, I was like, well, why didn't I originally, when I built this thing, why didn't I put the material on the inside of the frame? And that way I could just clamp it using these clamps that I made out of extra PVC pipe. Why didn't I just bring it on the inside, hook, put it up here and just clamp? Well, hindsight being 20/20. So this time around, that's what I pretty much did. I got this material's on the inside of the pipes and everything instead of on the outside. And so the hoop house is up and running. As you can see, again, spring clamps where I needed it, some tape where I needed it, but mostly the clamps. So let me take you outside of the hoop house, and I'm going to turn these fans back on and get the hopefully get the humidity down low. And lessen the stress on the plants in there. Okay, coming out here to the pumpkins outside. All this here is Cinderella pumpkins, and over there's the Big Macs. Okay, and you can see I got a vine of a Big Mac's finally starting to grow out here. Now here, it was that leaf curl issue I was telling you about. It doesn't happen. It's only on a few of the leaves, not many. And this just happened like in the last day or two. So look at this. It's curled up. Now see, this is outside the hoop house, so I can't sit there and say that it's the extra heat and humidity caused by the hoop house. Because if it was a heat and humidity thing, why isn't all the leaves like that? Why just a few out here? So I don't quite understand that. And so things are what they're. Like I said, there's another vine coming out here in the Big Macs. So things are starting to get going for the Big Macs, which I'm happy for. And here's the vine coming out of here from the Cinderella over there. And you can see the other Cinderella right there. I got some aluminum foil to help keep the squash vine borer moths from laying their eggs down there. And that vine is running along out there. There's just the tip right over there. And here's some vines running out here. And the Cinderella. And there's a female pumpkin. Now there she is. Let's see. Right there. Let's see if we can give you a little cameo shot. Okay, so, and you notice how the pumpkin on this variety is yellow instead of the green like you saw inside the hoop house. And that's because this Cinderella pumpkin belongs to the Maxima family, along with the Big Macs. They belong to the Maxima family, and they have yellow pumpkins underneath the petals. But eventually they will turn orange too as they start to ripen. Okay, and I'm using, of course, anything I can, sticks and pencils and things, to help guide the vine to where I want it to go, train the vine to grow a certain way. Okay, so that's just kind of some of the things that I do out here, trimming the marigolds, and I think they've also, have helped to keep some of the bugs away as well. At least that's what they're supposed to do. I guess if you now see, here's a little bit of curling up on that big leaf I was showing you about my hands a couple videos ago. This one's curled up some. Again, I don't know what's going on with that. So if anybody can help, please send me an email, respond to my videos, because it's not an aphid issue. It's no bug issues, and I don't think it's a disease issue, but maybe. I just don't know. But I kind of doubt it. It's maybe something to do with watering, too much watering. I don't think it's not enough watering, because the ground seems to be pretty moist. As you can see, the darkness here and then the drier stuff out here. So I'm keeping the irrigation system off for a while and see if my plants don't kind of bounce back. And fans going in there to cut down the humidity, and we'll see what happens. So mixed bag. Got some doing okay. I'm really concerned with the leaves on the inside curling up like that, not opening up like they're supposed to. I can't find anything on the internet that helps. I mean, mostly they focus on aphids on tomato plants and stuff like that, but I'm not having that issue. Maybe if somebody knows a professional pumpkin grower out there, can give me a call, or give me their number, give them some info, and I can give them a call and ask them some questions. Maybe their expertise would be most beneficial. All right, so from Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, hopefully the next time I shoot a video, we'll have some better news to report. So have a happy 4th of July. God bless America. Bye.